Hello everyone, welcome back in part 2. Lesson number 4, metals and non-metals. Let's have a recap first. We discussed in part 1 about atoms, molecules, elements, compounds, then mixture and some physical properties of metals and non-metals. But in physical properties, we discuss about malleability, ductility, melting point, boiling point, density, then luster, hardness, brittleness, sonorous. So all these things we discuss. But one question I want to ask today: are these physical properties alone are enough to differentiate elements into metals and non-metals? Why? Because there are certain exceptions. Now, which are those exceptions? So just take an example of mercury. As we have seen, metals are solid at room temperature. But in case of mercury at room temperature, you will find it liquid state. So in case of gallium and cesium, if you put them on your hand, they will easily melt. Being a metal, they are showing the properties which are different from the metals. Similarly, you can take iodine and graphite. They are non-metal, but still they have luster, and luster you found only in case of metals. So this is also one of the exception. In case of carbon being a non-metal, it exists in different crystalline forms, and which have different physical properties but have same chemical properties, and each form is called as allotrope. Example you can take of diamond and graphite, lithium, then sodium, potassium. Being a metal, they are very soft. As I said, metals are hard in nature. They have low density, they have low melting point. So there are certain exceptions which are not enough. So then what? So on the basis of their chemical properties, elements can be classified as metals and non-metals. So today we are going to discuss which are those chemical properties. Okay, let's move. Towards the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Before starting with the chemical properties of non-metals, I just wanted to tell you, focus here, it's a chemical equation. In this equation you might find on one side there is reactant and other side the products. Reactants are H2O2. H2 stands for hydrogen element, O2 stands for oxygen. So when hydrogen and oxygen react with each other, that's the reason they are reactant. What they are forming here? Product, that is water molecule is formed with the reaction of these two elements. Okay, these are how chemical equations are written. Next, word equation. What is word equation? So just now we discussed about the reactants and product, right? So what is important in reactant and product is nothing but the name of reactant, an arrow, and the name of the product. Just now I told you hydrogen molecule was reacting with oxygen to give a water molecule. These are word equations are written. Next, here are some elements showing metals and non-metals with their symbols. For your clear understanding, I have given here few examples just like lithium, barium with their symbols. Now, first we'll discuss here what we are going to see in the chemical reactions. Okay, first reaction will be of metal. What happens when metal react with oxygen? Okay, next will be what happens when metal reacts with water, what happens when metal reacts with acid, then bases. So all these four reactions we are going to discuss in chemical reactions. Okay, so let's see one by one. First, reaction with oxygen. So let's start. Whenever metal reacts with oxygen, they form metal oxides. And even you can say that all metals do not react with the same speed, depends on their reactivities. Just like sodium and potassium, they react vigorously, and that is the reason when they come in contact with oxygen, they catch fire. So, and to avoid this, they are kept immersed in kerosene oil or in paraffin wax or paraffin oil. What happens in case of magnesium? So magnesium being a metal, as we say, when heated it burns with a blinding white light to form its oxide. So let's see the general equations, how they are. Metal plus oxygen, what we are getting? Metal oxide. Then potassium, on reacting with oxygen, you will get potassium oxide. Sodium, how will reaction takes place? Sodium with oxygen gives out sodium oxide. Zinc with oxygen gives out zinc oxide. Carbon will give out carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, right? Okay. Now what is meant by corrosion? So corrosion is one of the it's a concept like it's nothing but rusting of metals. When metal surface is attacked by air, water or any other surface around it, the process is known as, they get corroded, and the process is known as corrosion. What happens in case of rusting of iron then? So rusting is nothing but corrosion takes place when iron come in contact with moisture, air. The time a red brown flaky substance which is called as rust deposited on iron, that is nothing but rusting of iron. These 2 points we'll discuss in detail in part 3. Okay, now let's move toward the next. What happens when reaction of non-metals with oxygen? So they form acidic oxides or neutral oxides. Acidic oxide means what? They dissolve in water to form acids. Neutral oxides are neither they form acids nor bases when they dissolve in water. This only happens. What about reactions of metal with water? So you can say they produce metal oxide along with whom? Hydrogen gas. And metal oxide soluble in water, they dissolve to form metal hydroxide. Now how can we give, they don't react with water directly. Okay, just take an example. Metal on reacting with water, they are forming metal oxide but with the evolution of hydrogen. Okay, next potassium, similarly when react with water it forms potassium hydroxide and hydrogen. Then sodium, similarly sodium, calcium, then magnesium, they form particular respective hydroxides of theirs. Aluminium, iron or zinc also, they form hydroxide. But how these reactions takes place, that is important to know. So friends, potassium and sodium, okay, so they react violently with cold water. Sodium floats on the surface of water. A fizzing sound is heard as bubbles of hydrogen gas and quickly produce around it, where metal bursts into a flame in case of potassium and sodium. What about the calcium? So calcium is less violent with water. Magnesium, they do not react with cold water, but with hot water it forms magnesium hydroxide. Similarly, you can say ask for aluminium, iron, zinc. They do not react with cold water, but with steam they form particular oxides, aluminium oxides. In case of lead, copper, silver, they don't react. What about the non-metals now? In case of non-metals, so they don't react with water, but they were very reactive in air. Example is the phosphorus. If you put it in air, it catches fires. and that's the reason phosphorus is kept in water. It is stored in water. This happens in case of non-metals. Next, the reaction of acids with metals. So metals react very quickly with the dilute acids, and the product obtained are nothing but salt and hydrogen. Let's see general equation over here. Take an example. Metals are reacting with dilute acid. What we are getting? Metal, salt and hydrogen. Now particular example, magnesium is a metal. When it is reacting with acid, that is hydrochloric acid, what we are getting? Magnesium chloride and hydrogen. Next, what happens when non-metals they are reacting with water? Just now we discussed this thing. Aluminium, in case of aluminium, what happens? Aluminium on reacting with hydrochloric acid, it will gives out aluminium chloride. Then zinc, same case. Iron. Now what happens when non-metals react with acids? Acids के साथ जब भी what non-metals की reaction होती है, what we will get? So they do not react with acids. Non-metals do not react with acids. Let's take an example of sulfur. It will react with hot concentrated nitric acid to produce sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. Just take an example over here. Word equation, sulfur. Here it is sulfur, then nitric acid. On reacting with nitric acid, what we are getting? Sulfur dioxide plus nitrogen dioxide and water. This is how the reaction of non-metals with acids takes place. Now what with the bases? Metals on reacting with bases, what we get? So they don't react with bases at all. Only aluminium, zinc, lead, they react with the solutions of strong bases like sodium hydroxide to produce a compound of that metal and hydrogen gas. What about the non-metals on reacting with the bases? So reactions of non-metals with bases are very complex. These are in study in your higher classes. Okay, so this is the worksheet you need to solve yourself. Try to solve it, try to find out the answers. If you are not able to write it, we'll solve once school get open. And then just stay home, stay safe and don't go outside the home. Take care. In next part 3 we'll discuss on corrosion, rusting of ions, then uses of metals, uses of non-metals. Till then you just need to go through the lesson, read the lesson, try to find out the answers and take care.